All right, some bonus footage here at Doozer shop. I'm outside in front of the shop. It's a nice sunny day. I got the day off. Figured I'd take some trees down that were a threat to the shop. As you guys know, I had trees, like 3 trees fall in my shop. 1 fell in the house about a year ago, and I'm kind of making sure if a tree looks questionable that I get it cut down. Those pine trees are especially if they're leaning, they're questionable. Let me take a handheld. I just dropped this tree and kind of give you some footage of what I've been doing here this morning. Alright, so this is like next to the shop and behind the shop. And just so you guys know, I still got the scaffold up. I need to take it down. But that's where the tree hit last year. You can see the new fly rafter, and it took out the fly rafter, it took out some lookouts, and it got into the main roof a little bit. But that's all repaired. So what I've been doing is, so this whole area here, this nice clearing next to the shop, this was all covered with trees. This is all pretty dense, and a number of trees fell. And this is the latest. By the way, this whole clearing back here was also full of trees, and I've been cutting them, basically cleaning up from the storm. So I cut this morning, about 10 minutes ago, and it's a big tree. What I ended up doing, I got this sketchy old ladder. This is a 40-foot step ladder, and trust me, it's sketchy going up. I had it about 30 some feet up there. And it's got my little chainsaw, nothing special. And there she is, dropped down. You can see the diameter, maybe 2 foot, I don't know. But I measured it out. It's 95 feet from the ground to the top of the canopy. Yeah, I got up early, and so yeah, I put a tag line on it, and put a rope on it. You can see there's my rope, and that's nylon rope. I think it's good for 8,000 pounds. And I was pulling with a ratchet come along, and I think it's a 2-ton double strung, and I only had it single strung, so I was only pulling 2,000 pounds, so well within the rated capacity. I went up and threw a nylon strap around it and tied the knot, and had a really good pull. This was leaning towards the shop by about, I don't know, 4 or 5 degrees. So I made sure I had a really good notch cut at the bottom, and turn you back around. Yeah, it was, I did not want it to fall on the shop, I'll tell you, because it was, like I said, leaning that way. So I got a good pull on it. You can kind of see. I tied off to a tree back here. Actually, this little skinny tree right here, I put the strap on, and I got the lug all come along. As you can kind of see here, the canopy. And man, I tell you, the smell of this pine, it is the sweetest pine smell. It's sweet like sugar, the smell of this pine, now that this thing just flopped on the ground here 10 minutes or so ago. I just enjoy things like that. Smell, oh, and there's honeysuckle growing on the hedgerow over there. The smell of the honeysuckle mixed with this pine is just glorious. It smells a little like violets. But anyways, so you see this tree bent over like that. You can see it's regrowing. It got bent over from the storm, and it's, other than being bent over, it's an okay, it's in fine condition. And there's you can see a tree there at the top broke off. That's just, it's just basically touching it. But I'm gonna leave this jackpole tree, or whatever you want to call it, because it's got some good shade under it, and it's never gonna fall and hurt anything. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this big pine that I cut. And I'll tell you what I've been doing. Trying not to trip on these vines. And like I say, there it is, falling away from the shop. I'm going to pan you down and over. There's a creek back of the property here, and I got this brush pile going. And you can see I've been stacking logs over here with the tractor. That's why I bought this tractor, my New Holland, is just to you know, move the brush and everything. So I've been stacking logs there, and this is just you know, brush and rubbish. And this is about a 6 or 7 foot tall pile. I mean, this thing's just, you know, growing and growing. And down by the creek here, it's you know, the termites will get it, and it's pretty moist because all the water drains towards the creek. The creek's about 20 or so feet behind it, so I'm far enough away from the water where it's not going to ever impede anything. But you know, this is just a nice area, and it's a low-lying area, because if I shoot you back up, kind of see everything's uphill, you know, from here. Like I said, there's my tree. So I've got a lot of woods, kind of pan around. Just under 5 acres, you know. But I love, like I said, living in the trees. It's the forest and the canopy is just all around you. And let's say my house and my shop is in the trees here. So anyways, I say all this area was just overgrown, and I've been coming back here with the tractor and just clearing the dead stuff. You know, I don't like cutting live stuff, but it needs it, because in this climate in North Carolina, it's like a tropical darn rainforest just about here in North Carolina. So you can see my house. Got the garage door open. That's where my house is, and it's kind of surrounded by trees. And of course, you know, the shop's over there. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I've been working on. I'm in the shade here of the bent tree. Anyways, so I'm gonna go get the chainsaw going, continue to clean up my mess. That tree that's cut, the stump, you see some burn marks on it, that's the one that hit the roof of my shop a year or so ago, the biggest one. So, you know, that's what started this whole buy a tractor, clean up the mess, take down these trees. And like I say, I got some, you know, that one's going next, that one's probably gonna go. You know, I don't think this one's gonna reach it, or that one, but there's a few more over there. That one in the background, and there's some, you know, you just can't see. Yeah, there you go. All these pines have got to go. And you know, so anyways, that's what I've been working on this morning. Beautiful morning, before it gets too hot in the day. And there's the canopy. I'm gonna start limbing that down, and you know, doing it that way. Spend the day here, and I'm kind of in some shade, which is kind of nice. But I know some of the YouTube guys, they do a little nature excursion once in a while. I know Steve Summers, he's got a beautiful piece of property with a stream. So sometimes I thought maybe you guys might appreciate this. There's some leaning pines, but they're so far away from the house, I'm not going to worry about it. But, you know, I just love this piece of property. Living in Buffalo, New York, it'd be pretty hard to afford the acreage that I have here. Like I say, under 5 acres. I got a field out in the front. I don't know if I showed you guys the field ever, but that's where the fire trucks are parked. Maybe I'll do a video about that. So this tree, the top had snapped off during the storm, and it's regrowing. It's some kind of hardwood tree. Not sure what it is. The species down here in North Carolina are different than up in New York, so I'm not sure. That one's topped as well, and I don't know, it's not really growing too much. But I've chattered enough. I just want to show you a little taste of what I was getting into this morning. But that's what I do. If I'm not in the shop, if it's a beautiful day, I'll come out and cut trees. Because the shop is air conditioned, and you know, I can work in there on the super hot days or rainy days, or at night, obviously. So I just wanted to do this morning and show you guys, you know, what I'm up to. And you might, you know, you guys know I'm not a guy that lives in an apartment and you know, has sports and video games to occupy his time. I'm creative. I know if you're watching my channel, you're creative as well. So you can relate maybe. But you know, it's a wonderful life, and I always want to learn more and more. I figure you're here for a short amount of time, and just to embrace you know, what life has to offer. And my thing is to learn, and you know, engineering and machining, and you know, I love nature, so learning about cutting trees and upkeeping the property and owning a tractor and all that stuff, I just love the experience. And even when I'm cutting wood or loading dirt with the bucket, you know, how you even getting good scooping a dirt pile or a gravel pile is just, you're always learning. So this is very intellectually stimulating and relaxing at the same time, having a piece of property like this and having a shop and machines. I'm sure that's why you guys do it too, but you know, leave maybe in the comments, tell me what motivates you. Is it the challenge, or you just love the knowledge, or maybe it's purely just a hobby free time that you just love to get out away from the television set. I haven't watched TV in 10 years. I don't watch the news. I listen to the radio, and all the news I get is off the radio and stuff, but just too much noise. But I just love living in the woods here. Like I say, there's my brush pile. And that's what drives me. So, anyways, again, way too long. Have a nice day from Doozer's shop.